Morning, everybody. Today's Tuesday, September 25th, 2018. It's MMA Junkie Radio's pre-show, show before the show. I'm Goes, that's George, that's Dan. Danny, voice in your head. Woohoo!
Yeah.
No. I will do that again. I'm Goes, that's George, that's Dan. Voice in your head, that's Danny Okers.
Danny!
Don't ever. I don't know who the hell you think. What the hell? What the hell? Alright, we'll see you.
Yeah, they're taking turns on each other.
What was going on just now? That's like, it's bad karma, bro. Start the show off like that? They need to know you. What's up, Evan? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up?
You want a water or something? Yeah.
Is this where you want me over here? Yes, sir. Work? How you guys been?
Good, how about you?
Good, man, good.
Alright. That was a solid shot you took, man.
Man, it's just my body doesn't hold up to it no more. You know?
Liver shot?
Minutes.
You a drinker
Two
too?
minutes.
I drink, but I don't drink crazy amounts. You know what I mean? So I hadn't drank in almost 2 months before this fight. You know, so it's,
Well, it was a well-timed knee, you know, and you were exposed.
yeah, everybody's gonna be headhunting my body now. You know, because the last 3 losses I've had were all body shots. So, well.
But the reason I asked about the drinking is because Cowboy, he doesn't take body shots. A lot of people say, and I'm not a doctor, so it's not I know, but they say,
Yeah, the show before the show.
That me?
I drink, so
That me?
imagine my liver's not in the best.
I can't believe you tried to get away with it.
You know what I mean? 'Cause you deplete your whole body, your innards are struggling.
What'd you say? Hi. Something like that.
I said, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is a
Alright.
little
Who's doing
2-minute
your
pre-show, Evan.
Oh, cool.
That's our producer back east in New York. His name's Danny.
Hi.
Oh.
Did Chidi win that tonight?
He's fighting Melvin Manhoff.
Oh, I thought he already did.
Alright. Like these bobbleheads?
Yeah.
Look how
pretty
detailed
sweet.
this one is. Look at his, even his card and everything. Not
We
crazy?
are coming up in
Cool.
30.
Damn, this thing's smooth, man.
Good? Nice,
thank
nice,
you.
nice.
You don't have the heart to throw out old red over there?
It's like R2, man.
I'm going to keep him
R3.
handy just in case.
Yeah.
But if he just sits there and doesn't do anything, then yeah, maybe.
Are you a pleasure model?
I think we should take him apart and leave his blades on the floor.
I got the South Park.
Yes.
Awesome. All
Awesome, oh, yes.
right, guys, coming up. Stand by.
This is your captain speaking. We are making our descent into Las Vegas McCarran Airport. On behalf of our crew, we'd like to thank you for flying MMA Junkie Airlines. Now please fasten your seatbelts and put your tray tables in your upright position because the descent is going to be a little bit bumpy.
Alright, Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMA Junkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Goes. This is what we doing while we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'! Yeah!
The MMA Junkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communication stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMA Junkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMA Junkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMA Junkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
From the fight capital of the world, inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Racing Sportsbook, you are listening to the MMA Junkie Radio Show, the only show that matters. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. With me, as always, is the devious and dastardly Goes. Our ace co-host to my left, it's the fight analyst, Dan Tom. Back east, producing Danny Otto, and our special co-host for the first hour, it's Evan Dunham, recently retired from the UFC's lightweight division. Evan Dunham. What's up, Evan? How you doing?
Oh, not much, man. Just got back yesterday and wanted to come in and make sure to thank all the fans and stuff like that for support over the years, and wanted to do it before I got going on some other things. I got a little busy.
Oh, you're going to turn the page quick, huh?
Yeah, man. I'm hitting the ground running, so to speak. So, yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations on your career.
Thank you.
I think you reached 20 right at the dot with the UFC, right? 20 fights?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I think I counted the other day, and you reached 20. And you were with them since I believe 2009. And
Yep.
what a nice run, man. You know,
Yeah.
you fought all the best fighters.
Yeah.
You had your fair share of wins.
Yeah.
And so you definitely, established yourself early with that first win streak. And you had a couple bumps, some controversial losses. Actually, Dan was going through your career yesterday. We talked about the Shirk fight and things like that, and then up until the last couple that you dropped, you had another run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just really, really a fun career to watch you. I think you started as a 26-year-old, and now you're about 35, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, no, I'm 36 now.
36? Okay.
I think I got it when I was 27.
27?
I'm 36 now.
Yeah.
So I'm a young man still.
You didn't even have kids when we first met you.
No kids at all. Now I got
you're
a
a
couple.
pops.
So
Yeah.
It's keeping me busy.
You got your own gym?
Yep, got my own gym here in Vegas, and that's one of the things I'm going to be doing a lot more. I'm in there almost every night as it is, but when I get into camp, I just don't spend as much time in there, and I want to be able to do that. So that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to doing. But it's I'm at that point where it's kind of the life quality. I don't want it to suffer later on. So I had a good run, and I'm ready to hang them up and be done with it. So, but I'm happy with my decision, and I don't think I'm going to be headed back like most guys. So
I know things didn't go your way Saturday night, but I still saw you exit with a smile, satisfaction, content.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of everything we talked. You had some successes in the UFC. You had wins. You were a ranked fighter. You were involved in some big fights. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool, I'm sure, to look back on. And I don't know if you had a chance to reflect on the 15-hour flight or in the last few hours, but what are you thinking now, man? Like, are you happy, sad? What?
No, I'm extremely happy. It's I'm a guy who puts 100% effort into anything I do. And I've always done that with fighting. But I feel like moving forward, my heart's just not in it anymore. You know what I mean? I want to pursue other things. Really comes down to is I've seen a lot of guys, growing up that I looked up to, and they stay in the sport too long, and they suffer physically from it, and I don't want to be one of those guys. So I have a responsibility to myself, and I also feel to the fighters behind me, to get out at the right time, because there's no reason to beat a dead horse, so to speak, and take any more damage than you have to. Like you said, 20 fights in the UFC, is a long time, and more than happy with that, and just kind of ready to move forward on this one, So, it's on the flight home, it's a little sad, but it is what it is at this point, and so I know I'll probably be get the itch at some point, but that's why I'll keep competing. I want to get back into competition in jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. Probably not right away, but my goal is like mid next year to start competing in jiu-jitsu, just because I want to compete to the day I die and lead by example at the gym. So, but yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. So,
coming home.
Yeah.
I know you called this home. Will this continue to be home, or are you eventually going to move back to your roots?
No, headed back to Oregon was always kind of a thought, but I love Vegas. It's
kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, I like Vegas a lot. We have our oldest is in school now. I don't want to uproot her and take her somewhere else, and because I didn't have to do that when I was a kid, and I'm sure it's pretty tough to do. So we'll be staying here, doing the gym thing. I got a couple of other things that I got going on in the fire, and but I like Vegas. It's warm here. Oregon, it rains too much, so we'll probably go up in the summers and stuff like that, but not gonna call Oregon home. I'll be here for a while. So
I never realized how important it was to not get uprooted from school until later on in life. And I feel so lucky that I was able. It's so hard to make new friends and just be in a whole new environment. So I commend you on that part. What about other fighters, some of the UFC brass? Can you share maybe some stuff they told you? I'm sure it was all positive.
You know, yeah, I didn't hear anything negative. You know, I was lucky enough to have a couple guys in my locker room that, you know, I used to watch fighting back in the days and looked up to, you know, that were there. And, you know, they said it was a pleasure to watch me fight and stuff like that, and had a good career. And so, yeah, I've gotten all good things, you know. It is kind of a bummer to go, but I'm also at the age where I don't want to neglect my future careers as well. You know, the longer you stay in the fight game, focusing 100% on fighting, you know, you're making your transition a little bit harder as you get older. You know, so yeah, that's kind of another reason behind it. So, yeah, you know, I got good feedback, so I can't complain. Dana gave me a call yesterday, but of course I missed it, like I miss all my phone calls. If I don't know the number, I don't answer, you know, and says some nice things on a message for me. So, yeah.
Did you call him back?
I called him back, but I was actually passed out because I got off the flight and was exhausted because I don't sleep well on planes, and called him back, and it was a message. So I'm sure I'll see him around. I'm not too worried about it.
What did he say to you?
I just said, you know, it was a pleasure to have me, you know, in the organization, and always fought my ass off, which I always do, and, you know, just general stuff like that, you know. So it was good.
All right. I want to ask you a couple things here.
Yeah.
You said the itch to compete.
Yeah.
That's jiu-jitsu only, but
yeah.
I only want to bring this up. You seem like a guy that's true to his word, but stuff has happened with other athletes.
Yeah.
Like, for example, PFL is concluding their season where the winner gets $1 million.
Yeah.
You used to be part of Extreme Couture, so you know Ray Cepho runs that thing. I'm sure it's just a quick phone call. Are you sure that something like $1 million couldn't lure you for 2019? You know, like.
Well, you know, the problem I'm having is it is frustrating because I feel like my stand-up game is getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
I feel like my footwork and my distance control is getting better. You know, in this last fight, you know, I went down there kind of. I didn't announce that this was my last fight until after I got the fight, because I'd seen in the past where guys announce it and they kind of get a favorable matchup, and you're just kind of like, and I don't want an easy way out, so I wanted a tough fight, and so they gave me Trinaldo's name, and you know, he was just recently ranked the top 15 when I signed, so I was like, yeah, let's do that one, and went to Brazil. But I've been in Brazil and gotten screwed in decisions before in the past. When I fought Dos Anjos, I really believe I won that fight, and most people, you know, would agree with me. So I kind of went down there knowing I had to finish the fight, you know. And in the first round, you know, I looked to take him down, but he's a strong dude. So kind of, you know, stuffed a couple takedowns. He got the first. But I felt like I was building steam, and it was hitting him harder than he was hitting me and landing more shots in the second. And I could see every time I would land, he would just swing like haymakers at my body, you know, because like I said earlier, my last two losses before this to
Alvin Mercier?
Yes, please. And then Barboza were both body shots. So I know everybody's going to be hunting the body. So every time I'd land, I'd see those big, like, looping hooks coming to the bottom of my body. And I was like, okay, if I can just stay out of the range of those, I'll be good. And, you know, keep playing. And then I kind of realized, you know, it was back and forth. I felt I was landing the hardest shots, but I didn't feel that it might be enough to sway it my way, you know, in Brazil, because it wasn't in the past. So I kind of started, you know, letting him go a little bit longer, and he timed a really nice knee as I came in. And, you know, in the past when I get hit with body shots, it's you have like a second or two where you're like, don't go down, don't be a pussy, you know, and try to fight it off. And this time when he landed, I went down like a ton of bricks. So I just know my body just can't handle it much anymore. I think it might be the weight cut. It might be something else. I don't know. But when I get hit the body, you know, I feel it pretty good.
So you're filing the papers, the retirement papers, and pulling out of USADA. You're going through all the formalities of
I probably won't do that right away, because I've always kind of prided myself on that. But, you know, USADA's kind of, you know, I'll be 100% honest with you. I think USADA's kind of a joke now. So, you know, I showed up, was ready to piss before the fight. Oh, no, you don't need to piss before the fight. Okay, cool. I figured we'd do it at the end. Didn't have to piss after the fight. So that's kind of like something that's irritating the shit out of me is, you know, USADA will come to my house late night or early morning, and, you know, I have to sit there for 20 minutes at the table, and I got to explain to my daughter why this random guy is following me in the bathroom to watch me pee, you know, and which is whatever, you know, I don't mind that as long as, you know, there's some kind of consistency to it. But we didn't get drug tested at all when I was down in Brazil. It's like, you know, I'm not trying to label anybody. I'm not putting accusations on anybody by any means. But I expect when I show up to a fight to be drug tested. And I think that needs to be a standard across the board. I don't care where you fight or whatever it is, but you should be drug tested. You know, if you're going to come and drug test me at my house 2 months out, why the hell would you not come and drug test me after a fight or right before a fight? It just seems ridiculous. So the consistency's not there, and that's kind of my big gripe with it. And it's
feels like a waste of time at that point.
It's a waste of time. Like, why you know, they'll come and show up in my gym when I'm teaching a kids class and be like, oh, we got to do your drug test. And it's like, dude, like it says right here on my thing, don't come between this time and this time I'm teaching. They show up, you know, I got to sit there at a chair and like yell at like 20 kids from a corner to get this done. But you don't find it necessary to drug test this after the actual fight, you know? It's like, or, you know, it's...
So you do or you don't want to pull out of the USADA testing?
I'm not gonna right away just because I won't, you know what I mean?
But didn't you just say you think it's kind of a joke?
I do think it's a joke, but once you pull out, like if you ever want to fight again, it's like, what, 2 years or something like that?
Oh,
I don't plan on
okay, so yeah,
again,
just in case. Yeah, all right, I got you.
I'll piss in a bottle every once in a while just to keep my options open, you know, but... you know, I don't plan on pulling off of it.
It really does suck. So you could be teaching kids.
Oh,
they show up.
Yeah.
And
sit down for 20 minutes while your blood settles or whatever it is, and it's like, okay.
So even those kids are seeing you walk in with another gentleman in the restroom.
Yeah, you know, it's
man, that is a little intrusive, right? Well, especially if they tell you can block off sometime. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, keep in mind this is coming from a fighter who has you know, has kept a winning record and actually trended well right when USADA hit Evan. That's when Evan started his second run. So it's not like it is a fighter that was adversely affected. Anybody's throwing accusations your way. These are just real aspects that you're talking about. I think a lot of people don't know.
Coming from you know, I'm not a guy sitting here trying to make excuses or anything like that. I'm just like pointing out the blatant, obvious problems with it. You know,
and I think it's great. I think that feedback should be something where whoever's listening says, hold on a second, that guy fought for us 20 times, and like Dan pointed out, consistency. He's a straight shooter. Jot those notes down. Why did that happen in Brazil? You know, so I'm sure you see whoever, you need to take that back. That's constructive criticism, constructive feedback.
I'm not putting blame on anybody. I'm not making accusations by any means, but it's like that just kind of pissed me off more than anything, because it's like, well, what the fuck why are you coming to my house? And you know, so
so what do they do? Like watch TV with you or something? Like if you're sitting there watching TV,
I just sit there and try to make small talk because it's awkward sitting there. You know, I'm trying to put my kids.
But so long as you ever kept the guy waiting, or
well, they'll show up and it's like you don't know you got to piss. So I've sat there for an hour with them just waiting to piss. You know what I mean?
How you doing? Where you from?
They're not. Don't get me wrong. They're nice people. You know what I mean? But.
I have friends that I can't sit an hour in front
That's what I'm thinking. Like we haven't revisited the USADA talk in such a while because it came, we asked, but now that you're bringing it up, I'm just thinking.
Forced small talk.
Are these guys in suits or like in the summer here where it's 108? Are they cargo shorts? Or?
No, they're not. They're nice people. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but you know, they'll just show up and it will be kind of. And don't get me wrong, I love USADA. I think we should keep it. I know I fought. I come from the time when 75% of the guys were juiced up, you know what I mean? And so I like it. I think they need to keep it, but I think there's some adjustments that need to be made to have the consistency. And then when you get guys like I didn't know the exact details. Maybe you guys can fill me in on the whole John Jones thing. Like he's going to fight again or something like that, right? Pretty soon.
Yeah, dude. So he got 15 months from his fight versus DC in July 28th of 2017. Yeah. So basically, at the end of October 28th, it'll be 15 months. So what happened was he was actually up for 4 years because this was the second time, right? Yeah. It's 2, then 4. Mm-hmm. But they do have some flexibility when it gets arbitrated or mediated or whatever. So he presented his case, and it's getting complicated, and it's kind of like the first time where USADA has said, okay, what we're doing is we're lowering it. First to 18 months, and then it for some reason went to 15 months, and they said that the athlete is also going to work in conjunction with USADA. So if you ever go on Twitter, you see stuff about snitching or whatever, it boils kind of down to that. But he got it reduced, and he can fight. I mean, technically October 28th, but Dana's already said, well, he's not fighting until 2019.
Yeah.
So, but at least he'll be eligible then, and it's done. So there's cooperation with USADA. And I think USADA also made a statement that said we don't believe he knowingly cheated or attempted to knowingly cheat. Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of a complicated case. But there have been other guys like Tim Means and Yo Romero that were able to prove that there was a tainted supplement and thereby clearing their name along with reducing the sentence.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure if I answered your question. But
no, you did. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It seems to me like somebody like, if, in my opinion, first time, 2-year suspension, second time, you're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's how it should be, because you got guys that are going into fights, thinking it's a fair playing field, or hoping it is, and I know there'll always be ways around it or whatever. But if you're going to cheat and you're going to cheat again, it's, and I don't really buy the excuse, like, I get the supplement thing, like if you can go back and prove it, but like the drug thing or whatever it is, it's like, dude, like, you're a professional athlete at the highest level of your sport. Like, me personally, I get super sketched out even drinking like the protein shakes we get from the Performance Institute, just because I'm like, fuck, like, I don't want to do this. So like, I don't take any supplements at all.
Fighters
it kind of does suck, a little bit. They really
I've seen them do that.
I don't drink.
And you got to tell them where you're at. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
like if you were an active fighter right now, you'd have to let them know you'll be at Mandalay Bay for an hour, right? Or is it that detailed or no?
Yeah, it's supposed to be that detailed, and I've never missed whenever they show up, I'm there. You know what I mean? So
it is on my bucket list to have a fighter get tapped on the shoulder here on this show.
You said this, yeah.
Excuse me, where you saw it, and then. Of course, we'll encourage the fighter. Hang on to that piss. Hang on to it. Make them wait. It's always a dude, right? Dudes get dudes and women get women, or you ever had a woman?
Usually a guy and a lady. You know what I mean?
But the girls watching you too?
No. The women don't watch.
George getting all excited over here.
No, I was like, wow. Okay, so that's because he's talking about how old's your daughter?
My daughter's 6.
Okay, and so he's telling her, Daddy's got to go in the restroom with another man, not the woman though, right?
No.
George
okay.
Really trying to paint a picture here.
No, I'm just saying that sucks for the daughter. It sucks for him. It sucks for his daughter. Or, and then I don't know how. I don't. Once you get in the room, is the guy like, hey, take that rattlesnake out? Come on, let's just get this thing done. Or is he turning around? Or
I'm okay with it as long as it's being followed through to the extent it needs to be followed through, and it's obviously not being followed through if you have events taking place where fighters aren't getting drug tested. Like, shouldn't that be like the first place you get tested and always guaranteed to be tested?
It should be more black and white instead of all these little subdivisions, and that's kind of
what do you mean?
Just black and white, like he said. One time, 2 years.
Oh,
I see. You're done. None of this, all this other shit.
Something they talk about on the show a lot is consistency, and but I guess not to keep on the negative. But can I ask you, like, obviously you said part of the reason you're retiring, you got your ducks in a row, already transitioning out, very smart, commendable. But on the other side, not to dwell on the negative or anything, obviously you got a good relationship with the UFC, as you should. But with stuff like this, as far as like the changing of things, like whether it's USADA or maybe other things, did any of that contribute to maybe your thoughts and feelings on the sport?
They're doing different things, and I understand why they're doing different things. I know it's a different owners, and they paid a lot for that company, and they're trying to recoup their costs and stuff like that. So I get why they're maybe so-called giving somebody a slap on the wrist that can make them a bunch of money in the future, but that's not like a driving force behind why I retire, because those are kind of frustrations that I think most fighters have been feeling for a long time, and a lot of them aren't vocal about it because they're afraid of like backlash and retaliation and stuff like that. Like, but there's some stuff in the organization I'm not too happy with, but that's how every business is, right? Nobody's but that's not my driving force now, but the USADA thing, that kind of irritates me quite a bit, but it is what it is. I'll jump through the hoops. I've always fought clean, and it is what it is, but you got some guys that are getting the book thrown at them, and it seems to be like all the guys that aren't the big dollar fighters. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the one guy I can think of is Gleason Tebow. You know, he got popped and he got 2 years suspension. Good. That's exactly what should happen. But and there wasn't any like, oh, we need to, you know, talk about this and try to figure out what it is. You know, it's like, dude, you know, if that's the case, give him the suspension. You know, and I don't know. It's just it's crazy because when somebody enters a fight, you're entering potentially a life-altering, changing event, right? I mean, because you could go out there and you could take a body shot like me, and 20 minutes later you're like, "Fuck, that sucked," but I'm good. But you can go in there and get your ass kicked and beat up pretty bad, and have some brain damage from it or whatnot. And so I think that needs to be taken a little bit more seriously as well. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just don't think they take it as serious as they really should. So
have I ever told you my Gleason Tebow story? It
No.
revolves around you.
Oh no, I don't think so.
For that fight,
yeah,
I sat in between your family
Oh.
and his family. I was the only thing that divided them two.
My dad's
His
a little
family.
crazy.
His dad, yeah, like a little bit, but not too bad. But somebody on Gleason's side, which I think was his wife, oh my God.
Yeah, I heard that one.
Screaming the whole fight. I don't think she knew that his family was just right there. But she was saying some stuff like, fucking kill this guy. He sucks, this and that. And I was like, God damn, his family's like right there. I thought I was going to have to break something up. But luckily his family kept it cool. But the other side was bad, dude. Like so bad that I remember they actually brought people down to like chill them out.
Wow.
That was crazy.
You
And
know, it
the
kind of rings a
only
bell.
buffer was me. I was right in between.
Was that the same day that Poirier choked out Max Holloway?
I don't know.
I
I
think
remember
yeah,
Bobby
the
Green
Aldo
fought
Holloway
Jacob
or
Volkman, I think,
Aldo
that night
Edgar
too.
card, right?
Edgar Aldo.
Edgar Aldo card, yeah.
Alistair Overeem and Bigfoot.
Yes, that's right.
Alistair had one of the best walkouts ever, except it took a while because he was into the EDM, and it was one of those songs that goes, da, 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 like, so it's going to drop, obviously. And so he's just sitting there going like this.
At the tunnel, though, right?
It's a tunnel, yeah. But I think it was just like, he did that for like a minute, it seemed like. And I'm like, the crowd's like, all right, we're with you, but at some point the song's out of like, but when it did, everyone went nuts, so it paid off. So I don't mind him doing that, but pick another song. This one just,
Gotta use the big arena for that. Use that for the stadium.
Yeah. And now I'm an EDM fan, so I was digging it, but I know there was some people who were like, what the fuck is it? Is this thing, it's got a scratch in it or what? Like if it was a vinyl record or something, That was quite a night, though. Wow. Well, we're going down memory lane here.
Yeah. No, it's
all right. So no retirement papers. Still in the USADA pool.
Yeah, I didn't even know about. Honestly, I didn't even know about retirement papers or anything like that. So
yeah, you have to fill because that's kind of like, I guess, when you officially part ways with the UFC. Now the UFC can go, hold on a second. Like we may want to keep you around, so as long as you're not sure, we'll keep you under contract in case you reconsider. Yeah. Which you're right, Faber. He still gets tested. Yeah. So if he were to ever come back, he can only do that. Yeah. But sometimes if the UFC is like, well, we feel like he's being genuine, he or she, or maybe we're just ready to part ways or whatever, then they'll do it. But then that does allow you to then
go somewhere else,
take a phone call. At least take the call. You discuss with the family. No, I'm really retired, or hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's not my intentions at all. Try to go somewhere else or anything like that, So, I feel like the last few fights, I had great preparation, and which kind of brings me to something else, which is the Performance Institute. That like those guys and gals down there are like the best people ever. Like that's, in my opinion, one of the best things the UFC's done. Is provide that facility, because like Bo Sandoval and Heather and Bobby and Clint and all those people are very like genuine people. They're there for the fighters, and so I just kind of wanted to like tip my hat to them, because without them, like I wouldn't have. They kind of took me when they first opened. I was kind of in a bad spot, like physically and mentally, because the mental always goes with the physical, and then. Bo kind of helped build me back up. With the physical came the mental. And so going into these last two fights, I felt in phenomenal shape. There was no lack of effort on my part getting prepared for these. So But yeah, I just kind of wanted to mention that because those people down there are really good people, and you know, I hope any fighters that can like get there and utilize that facility does, because they're doing.
You
really
still
good
plan on
things.
going?
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Free
going
food
there.
too, right?
Yeah, I'm not. You know, I mean, you know, I'm not.
I'm sure the wife
Yeah.
takes a trip back to Oregon to visit the family and leaves
Yeah.
you alone. Unless you're some gourmet chef, you can go in there and
yeah.
these guys can tear it up for you.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. You know, I'm not gonna be like going in there, and because I don't want to like, if I'm not gonna fight, I don't want to go and schedule a strength conditioning time and take up somebody's time, and you know, if I'm not gonna be competing. So, but I got a few things that you know.
Check it out though, because as a former fighter, I would almost say you deserve it.
I was just about to say, you're
Well-
Evan Dunham. You
Yeah.
can do that. Like if I'm a new fighter and they go, oh man, 230's taken up, Evan Dunham, I'm not gonna go, man, that fool just retired. I'd go, oh shit, all right. That's
Well,
Evan
you
Dunham.
know, I'm not too.
You're Evan Dunham, Evan.
I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna be really busy, so I don't know how often I'll make it in there. You know, just for strength conditioning. But
All right.
so
Let's take this break, and then we got more questions for you.
All right.
You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM, new Fight Nation Channel 93. So it's still the same channel number, except we're Fight Nation. We're no longer Rush. Occasionally I slip up there. It was a bad habit from the last 2-3 years, but we're Fight Nation 93, and we got UFC lightweight, former lightweight. He just retired. He just had a fight out in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and after 20 fights, he's calling it a career. So we're just kind of going down the memory lane. Now we are still taking calls. We invite you to call in at 866-522-2846. We'll be right back.
They are the stretch marks on the underbelly of the MMA community. But hey, stretch marks are the new tats. They are Gorgeous George and Goes.
All right, where are my reads here?
I enjoyed following your tattoo game as well, the evolution of it.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
All right, I must have
haven't
spaced
gotten
it.
anything in
Danny,
a
do we
while.
have reads? I'll tell you what. How about this? NBA channel 86, NFL channel 88. Give them a look sometime because if you're a fan of those sports, I'm telling you, man, they bring it. They have some really, really good shows. The opening drive and in the NBA, they got a couple that are all linked into like fouls and what are they called? The opening drive is one of them. I don't know, but I literally was hearing a lot of NBA radio during the.
A lot of LeBron talk this morning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Off the glass, above the rims, like like those types of. Yeah. So now I haven't listened to NBA in a while because I've been hooked on the NFL channel trying to see what's what. I just found out Garoppolo's hurt or whatever. So give them. Those are some of the ones that are on my presets, along with 33, which is First Wave, and of course Fight Nation, which is channel 93.
The next time you need to buy time, let me know.
Yeah.
I specifically made a list of 5 things to buy time while you look for that next time.
Yeah.
Nice.
No.
I was going to buy time by
get the
saying
reads.
not 5 things, but top 3. I'd say Evan Dunham is top 3 in relation to this show and the show's history, because Evan Dunham goes back a bit in this show's history. Top 3 fighters you guys pitched nicknames for that they never took. I have them ranked number 3 under Joseph Benavidez and Johnny Hendricks. I got to put them above you.
Joseph took his.
He did end up taking
Joe
one.
beat one Kenobi, but he was only he was only Joe beat one Kenobi for one fight.
He was the beefcake.
Yeah,
He
okay.
was.
All right.
He had a bunch of them.
Johnny Hendricks didn't want to be the Baconator, right?
Baconator. Oh.
He wanted to, but what happened? I think
He
they
really wanted to
marketed
get Wendy's?
that big rig thing or something like that.
Oh.
Do you remember
And
the one they
then,
tried to push on you, Evan?
It was 3D.
3D.
Yeah.
I wasn't
When he
opposed to
retired,
it.
somebody put I still have it on Twitter. It was just a pair of 3D glasses that was spinning.
Oh, that's cool. That's
It was
cool.
like-
Bruce Buffer even called in and announced Evan's name with 3D in it,
About all that.
just to see,
Yeah.
give him a feel of what it would feel, what it would feel like to hear it.
Yeah, wow.
Who else? Didn't we try and get somebody to be the Wolfman one time?
I don't know.
We did Killer Cub. Get credit for that.
Killer Cub. Well, that was you, right?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
super drunk.
Does he give you credit?
Kind of. Joker Guyman kind of set him straight a little bit because he was there. And I go, you remember I gave you that? And you laughed, right? And he was like, he goes, yeah, I kind of remember. And then I told Joker, I go, set him straight because you were there. And he goes, yeah, I pitched it. You totally laughed at him.
And he's got one of the cooler logos.
Now, to be fair, the other one was the Cub sandwich, which was stupid.
Yeah.
But Killer Cub worked.
All right. Evan, on Saturday I observed that you didn't go through one of the rituals that we see when fighters retire, and that's to lay their gloves down. Yeah. Now, that said, I realized that what normally happens is, okay, whoever the fight, well, obviously when there's somebody that wins the fight and someone that loses. In this case, Trinaldo won, and so they were speaking to Trinaldo, and so to me it seemed like they weren't going to let you leave without giving you your moment. But in that process, Trinaldo was paying you respect, and so he put his arm around you and he kind of brought you in, kind of like, I guess he wanted to, give you props and share the moment. And I thought, well, maybe that didn't allow for Evan to go back and let them cut the gloves off and then do the thing. So if you can maybe talk about that, because you did explain it off air, but I thought you had an interesting reason as to why it didn't go that way.
It was respect, to Trinaldo. Like, to be honest, I tried to just leave. After they raised his hand and mine, I was just going to take off. Because that's his moment. He earned it. That was his moment. And I didn't want to intrude on it, and they did, they talked to me for a second, and I was fine with that. And, I didn't feel the need to have to take up any more time because he won the fight. That's out of respect to him. I didn't want to take up any more of his time, So that's why, So, but I wasn't too worried about it.
You keep your stuff? Are your gloves still with you? Are your other, like all the stuff from your fighting career?
They're all in a drawer somewhere, you know what I mean? So, a few pieces I gave away to like different sponsors when sponsoring was a thing. But most of them, they're just all stuffed in a drawer somewhere, and I'll let the kids play with them. Well, not play with them because they're nasty, but, they can take a look at them when they get older or something like that.
You have a man cave or anything like that? Or no?
No, I'm married, dude.
The rest is his man cave.
Married dudes have man caves.
Yeah, I know. I I have no need for a man cave, to tell you the truth. So, you know,
it gives you that
I
separation.
got a garage, you know, so I'm good.
Right now, if your wife's listening, she's like, yes, I got this guy.
Yeah. I mean, I used to, at our old place, I had a man cave, but it just turns into a room you put a bunch of crap in, you know, so I didn't need that, so.
Is there anything you're attached to from your fighting career? A certain pair of gloves, shorts, anything?
No. You know, it's all just stuff, you know.
Okay.
So memories I want to remember, I remember. You know what I mean? So, and you know, all my favorite memories are usually losses anyway. So it's all good. You know, I'm not too worried about keeping a bunch of stuff. I'll probably keep the gloves. I got all the posters. I hung all the posters of the fights in the gym and stuff for the kids and stuff. But, yeah, I'm not too worried about that stuff.
You said that now that the fighting career is done,
Yeah.
other things are going to get amplified. You're going to be able to give more attention to them. And I probably can figure out what most of those are going to be.
Yeah.
But I want to hear you talk about a dumb one. Just something silly, like not really silly, but I know you're a big Oregon football fan. Does that mean you're going to watch more football games this year? Like, is there anything else outside, music, concerts, something that you just had to take a back seat because you didn't have time with kids, family?
Not really,
fighting?
you know, like
Hunting, hiking, anything?
No, I mean, one thing I want to do is I want to try to get my family outdoors more, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get them outdoors more, so we're headed. I'll miss the big fight coming up. Because we'll be camping, you know what I mean, stuff.
Where are you going?
We're going to go up to Zion somewhere, so.
I'm going there this week.
Oh, okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
It's pretty badass. You've been there, right?
No, never
been there.
So.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we're going to go up there. I'm going to meet my brother and my folks there, so we'll have a big family camping, you know, which is, I'd much rather be doing that than watching the fights any day of the week. So, you know, it's, but I am interested in it, so.
When will you find out what happened in the fight? In other words, when you're out there camping, is there even like a little piece of you that go, hey, just send me a text and let me know what happened?
I don't know. I might look. If I get reception, I'll probably look it up.
Your MMA Junkie app?
Yeah. Well, I don't think I have the app, but you know, I know how to spell MMA Junkie on Google, so I'll just do that. You know?
Do you like apps?
I mean, I like apps for stuff I use.
Okay, ours is free, and it'll give you the ability to check on these fights.
Yeah, I try not to.
So I'm not gonna suggest it. I'm gonna tell you to do it.
Yeah,
just get it.
Because the thing is, you know, like.
How are you gonna find out then?
I'll just look it up.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It just pops right up.
It's fantastic. But like
There's you.
I'm trying to get off the whole social media. I'm trying not to waste any time on my phone. You know what I mean? Like, so I've pretty much like deleted. I haven't even posted it on social media since the fight, or actually a week before. So I've been off of it for a while. I'm trying to do away with a lot of those things. And if you have an app, it's just too easy to click, and then next thing you know, you go down a rabbit hole, and then 20 minutes later, you're like, oh shit.
Well, if you reconsider, it's there.
Okay, I appreciate it.
What's your rabbit hole app? Yours too, Dan. What's your rabbit hole?
You go
app?
first.
Dude, all of them now. I actually got a conversation. You know, I got in a conversation the other day about Snapchat. Someone asked me this. I used to have one, and I guess it showed up, and like it's like, hey, you have Snapchat? I'm like, no, I don't have it. Like it says you have one right here, and I guess I thought I was lying. I'm like, well, I'm not lying. I just listen. I did have one. I just you don't understand for work. Now I kind of have to be on social media for Twitter. I'm kind of more wired. I think more like an Evan, to be honest. If all things were equal, but for my work, I kind of always have to be on it. So it's just I have this weird love-hate right now. So I actually kind of sentiment with what you're saying to where like. I almost take homage with anybody that tries to get me to add on another app now. Like, we actually had to recently do one for work recently, and even I was like a little bit hesitant because I'm like, no, I don't need something else to check. Because in my mind, I almost use the exact same explanation as Evan, where it's like, no, I'm going to get wrapped down this, and I have to remember to check this, and then 20 minutes later, then I'm like,
I'd say mine's Twitter.
Twitter?
Yeah, because it's not just people that say, hey, go Rams. It's not just that. Sometimes it'll be like, check out the article I wrote, and then you click the article because they put it there, and then reading the article can take a while, you know, and then the comments that come with it. So I would say that one's a little bit more, versus like Facebook's like, it's my birthday, my kid's first day of kindergarten, you know, things like that, and they're not really giving you as many links. There's links there, but I'd say that one and Instagram are a lot quicker. You just scroll and go, oh, cool.
That's what I like about Grindr, no articles.
All right, let's take some calls. Here we go. First up, Kevin in Chicago. What's up, Kevin? Kevin,
Hello?
what's up, man?
Hey, what's up? I just want to expand on my comments yesterday about the fights, because this ties into Evan Dunham. I turn into the UFC. I tune into the UFC to watch the best fighters fight. I don't really care about entertaining fights, because I could watch World Star Hip Hop and find a bunch of real entertaining fights. I turn into the UFC because I want to see the best fighters fight, and this is why I respect Evan Dunham. He didn't take no easy fights. You know, he could probably call out Diego Sanchez or get another fighter that's on the decline or something, but he can't compete with the best fighters. Then he's going to call it a day. That's why I respect him. You know, he fought Mercier, a young, tough contender, and then he's fighting Francisco Trinaldo, another really tough guy. That's why I turned into the UFC, to see the best fighters fight each other. And if Evan Dunham can't compete with the best, he calls it a day. So that's what I respect about Evan Dunham. Good career, Evan.
Thank you, man.
Good luck on your next chapter in life.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's good that he has that mentality, because the American mentality is always to find out who's the best from we were kids, right? NFL, baseball, it all gets proven. If you go to Japan, they just want to see a good fight and a good show. That's why you've seen guys fight 3-4 times. They don't care as long as it's a good show. They're not really worried. So, but yeah, I like your mentality as well, Kevin.
You know who else I gotta imagine like that mentality? I mean, I talk about it all the time, especially guys. It seems like so many of them in the 155-pound division. I lump you with guys like Jim Miller, but like, you know, not just company guys, but they would actually throw down with the best and put on. They would check off all the boxes, and I gotta imagine Joe Silva seemed to like guys like that. Did you have a good relationship with Joe Silva when he was around, or?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about me is I managed myself for the majority of my career. You know, a lot of guys have managers and stuff. I just recently got one, like 2 fights ago, and that was kind of a strategic thing. But the majority of my career, I always managed myself, so I got to see a lot of the moving parts that a lot of the other fighters don't. But yeah, Joe and I always had a good relationship. Yeah, he always treated me well, and I respect him for it. So yeah, I've never really had any issues with anybody over at the UFC. You know, they've always been straight shooters with me, and you know, I can't complain. You know, so.
Did you ever have a good negotiation where you butted heads, but then in the end you got what you wanted? Or?
Yeah, this last one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was.
So Evan Dunham, the manager, is kind of a shark. He's ruthless.
I wouldn't say that, but like I knew what my worth was, and you know, I put up a good argument, and it went my way, so it was good.
Nice. All right, one more call here. We got to do another break. We got a new break structure, so I don't want to fuck it up. All right, Cage Side Nick, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Pretty good. Evan Dunham, man, here.
Cage Side, we can barely understand you. Speak into your phone.
You got to put the tuba down and speak into the phone.
One of those.
We can barely understand you, Nick.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that Evan Dunham, I've been a fan since the Sean Sherk fight. I really thought that was really a lot of good things happened in that fight, and then like he didn't get it. I was just kind of like, what the hell? Like, but I've been Evan Dunham fan, and like the last caller said, like he's a fighter's fighter, and I really thought we were going to see the gloves in the octagon, but it was all good though. Just, you know, that was a great career, man. Just want to let you know that you got fans out here on the reservation, and I can't stress this enough about how much the Navajo Nation, like, is just big fight fans, like everything. Like, there's big old posters of Evan Dunham. I forgot when, but there was a fight card. And then I remember seeing his poster up like all over, and I said, "Dang, man, people got some love out here for Evan Dunham, man. This is pretty cool."
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's been my pleasure. So thank you.
Where's your reservation at? You're in Arizona, right?
Yeah, the big one, the Navajo Nation.
Navajo Nation. Okay. Oh, very cool, man. That's awesome.
It seems like it'd be fun to watch a fight with them, right?
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, big time. Well, when I went to Tachi Palace in Central California, that's also a reservation. And I'm telling you, man, some really, really passionate fans that love themselves a good scrap. That was like one of the best audiences there at that one that I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Right on, Nick. All right, thanks for the call, buddy.
All All right, you guys have a good day.
All right, you too. Thank you, buddy. All right, let's take this break here. I think we're on. Yeah, there we go. We're on a good pace here. It's only 2 breaks per hour, but still, it's a new structure, and I want to get it right. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation 93. Stay close. We'll be right back. We have former UFC lightweight Evan Dunham here in studio with us.
I get paid to say things in this cool voice, and they get paid to be lame. Here are Gorgeous George and Goes.
SiriusXM has your chance to win one of 2 amazing experiences. A trip to see Garth Brooks perform the first ever concert at Notre Dame Stadium. Plus, you'll get to meet Garth at the show. You know Evan Dunham would like that. Or you can be there for the Notre Dame versus Pittsburgh game, including a stadium tour with locker room and field access. Now, see, that's more my thing there. No disrespect to country music. It's just not my thing. You like country, right, Evan Dunham? Come on, you're from Oregon.
I'm not a big country fan.
Really?
I mean, I don't listen to a little bit of everything, but
country's not. I pegged you wrong then. For some reason, I thought I was looking at a country boy right now.
I'm more of like a rock and roll kind of guy, you know.
Oh,
like,
my bad. All right.
Metal and rock.
Why don't you get even? Go. You like burritos, right?
I do like burritos.
For official rules and to enter, go to SiriusXM.com/Garth Notre Dame before October 1st. No additional purchase necessary to enter to win. How about Joey from Las Vegas? Would he rather go to the Garth Brooks concert or the Notre Dame Pittsburgh? Which one?
Dame.
Notre Dame Pittsburgh?
Yeah, but I have heard that Garth Brooks is really, really good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How about Dan Tom? Garth Brooks, right?
Yeah, probably.
I'm getting no play.
But he's trying to like meet
concert.
chicks.
But
yeah, no way.
But you don't even know what a first down is in football, right?
If me and Garth Brooks, I'd be like Eddie Murphy in 48 Hours when he walks into that bar. Like that's me.
Oh, that's right. Tilly's or what was it called? Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Gillies or
like I would be sticking out like that.
I've always
man.
wanted to do that. Just break people's stuff until they give me the answer I want.
Yeah.
It just seems fun.
Let's see.
How about
well,
now?
we can break next. Doesn't he say something like
Something
that?
like that.
Yeah. Did you ever
see
see
that
48
in
Hours, Evan, or is that too old for you?
I don't know if I saw it.
Nick Nolte.
You know who Eddie Murphy is, though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
yeah.
Him and Nick Nolte had
Guy with the gravelly voice.
not Beverly. It was called 48 Hours, and
right,
it was a cool movie.
I don't know if I've seen it.
It
Really?
stands the test of time. If
It
you go back
does.
and watch it, it's still funny.
Like if you were leaving for Brazil tomorrow,
Yeah, download
I'd
it.
say get that movie.
I've been busy.
Though then again, it seems like you resist every time I have a suggestion. But all right, Evan,
Yeah.
give us throw me a Scooby snack. You said, man, I plan on being busy. Now I know you're a father,
Yep.
a husband,
Yep.
and a gym owner.
Yeah.
Is there something else that you got cooking, or is it
So-
more about just that on its own?
No, definitely those are going to keep me busy. But, I really enjoyed the process of, like, starting a new business and build. Because I ran the gym solely by myself for almost 3 years. Like, I went on a 4 or 5 win streak when I was teaching by myself there. But I really enjoyed the process of building the business and all the other aspects that goes with it. So I'm looking to start a couple other businesses and go back through that process of starting a business and
MMA related or outside of MMA?
no, it's outside of MMA completely, So, but yeah, it's I enjoy. I went to school when I was in college. I got a business minor. I wish I would have gone a major over sociology rather than. Anyways, so I really enjoyed that, and I have a couple friends that are do stuff like that, and so I'm kind of passionate about doing starting a business and running.
Do you know what type of business?
Yeah, I do. I'm kind of keeping it on the low because
All right, I'm gonna guess at least. All right,
Yeah,
you
you
don't
can
have to
Yeah,
cannabis.
No.
Oh, okay. Usually when people say like, "Oh, I got something going," they don't want to say it. It's usually cannabis, and there's nothing wrong with it because that industry is blowing up,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are making money from it. In fact, Anthony Johnson said, "Yeah, I got some other stuff going on." And then finally, he got pressed, and he finally goes, "All right, it's cannabis."
Yeah.
But I know a few people in town that actually have invested, and you know what?
Yeah.
30.
One of the people that did has their connection is through Oregon.
Yeah.
So that's why I was thinking, I wonder if that's what it is.
No,
Okay.
if it was, I wouldn't hesitate to tell
Okay.
you. So
He's done with us for the first hour, huh? That's it.
He wants to stay.
Are you done after 1 hour?
I don't know. I can hang out for a bit.
Hang out for a bit.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We are going to exit right here the first hour, but we'll be right back in 1 minute, and that way we'll give Evan Dunham his proper exit. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation, Channel 93.
They're building a giant one, kind of by where I live. The new Costco.
On St. Rose?
Yeah.
You know the Raiders are going to practice there?
Yeah, I'm gonna be able to look out my window and see where their stadium is.
Oh, really?
It's pretty sweet.
Not their stadium, their training facility.
Both. Yeah, I'll be able to see both. It'll be pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. It's the second hour of the MMA Junkie Radio Show. So Go's booked Evan Dunham for 1 hour, but we were up against the clock, and I just couldn't bring myself to go, hey, thanks for the memories. So I'm glad he stuck around for a few minutes so we can give him his proper exit. Goes, we also have another guest today. You stated, right?
Oh, yeah.
Beneil Dariush, what time is he coming on? Just
11:30.
11:30. All right, so we're good. All right, so Evan, is there anything else that maybe you didn't get a chance to say in the octagon that you want to say to your fans, anyone that's listening, just about your journey, your career, and if you'll be around MMA or not? I don't know.
I don't know how much I'll be around MMA. You know what I mean? As far as, a lot of guys go the route of, like trying to commentate or, work for another organization. But that's not kind of what I want to do. I'm an all or nothing kind of guy, and I know if I kind of like hover around it, I'm going to want to fight again. I love to fight. I love hard work. I love going to the gym every day and working my ass off. And I like before I walk out to that tunnel and they're calling your name. I wish Bert was still there. If Bert was there, I might stay a little longer now.
I thought it struck a chord, the intro, right?
Man, I get
again?
Goosebumps when I hear that because man, Bert's my man, and that's one thing I think the UFC should bring back is get Bert back there, because it's different when your guy walks up and, hey, you're up in 5 minutes. Okay. And then when Bert's yelling at you, I mean, I wish they would bring that back, but but whatever,
When do you start your grappling career? 2019, or you need more time off before then?
No, I hope to start sooner than later. I want to jump in there as soon as I can, but I have a couple things. I got to take care of my body a little bit first. I got my goal. I see a lot of guys retire and they kind of like say fuck it, and let themselves go, and they gain a bunch of weight, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to mark my words, a year from now I'm going to be in better shape than I am now, and because I just want to maintain.
Retired Evan Dunham will be in better shape than professional fighter Evan Dunham?
Yeah, because you go through these swings of weight, you know what I mean? Like I get up to 86, I've been up to 96, and it's just because you're like dreading the next weight cut and the next diet you have to do, and so your weight just goes on these roller coasters where if you can just let it chill out, and let it settle and maintain at a healthy weight, I think I'll be much better off with that, as opposed to, I've been riding this roller coaster of weight since 6th grade, and I've never missed weight one time, even though it's been close, but I've never missed weight one time in my life, and I'm looking forward to kind of taking care of my body, and because it took care of me for a long time, and got me through the things I needed to get through, and I think it's good to just kind of, I'm not going to go on a wild binge eating. Actually, I've walked in the cage about like 10 to 12 pounds lighter than I normally do, for this fight, just because I'm trying to stay smart with it, so.
You gonna try that chicken parm sandwich spot that I told you about?
Yeah, I might. I might.
It's pretty good.
It's
right around the corner from you. You could walk there, obviously.
I'm more of a sushi guy,
What's your spot?
For sushi?
Yeah.
We like Island Sushi. I like Kaizen. I like all. As long as they have, this is how I decide if I like a place.
Right
if I walk into a sushi place, I ask them, do you have fresh wasabi? Like, I never knew what fresh wasabi was until Brad Tavares told me about it. And if you never had fresh wasabi, go order fresh wasabi, and you'll never eat that like pasty weird stuff again.
How does Brad make weight? He eats the most delicious things ever,
yeah,
and somehow he has no problem with his weight cuts.
Well, I think a lot of guys have tough weight cuts, but we just don't talk about it. You know what I mean?
I heard I love sushi. Everybody says that side of town.
I love sushi. Yeah.
Is it that much better than the other ones, though?
It's pretty damn good. Yeah, I live close to there, so I find myself getting it quite a bit. But
fresh wasabi.
That's how you judge a sushi place, is if they have fresh wasabi or not. If they don't have fresh wasabi, I'm not going. So.
Well, there we learned something.
Did you know that, Dan?
I'm not a big wasabi fan, but yeah, I mean, I can't disagree, but I can't really weigh in either because again, I'm not a fan of it. But there are certain tells, that's for sure. I'll co-sign on I Love Sushi, and as well as are we talking about that one off Eastern and Serene, the Island Sushi?
Island Sushi, yeah, that's
I went
a good
there the other
one.
night. That was good. Yeah.
I usually take all my guys that are involved in my camps before a fight. We go there and just destroy the whole thing, and then we'll usually go after the fight too to kind of win, lose, or draw. We'll go celebrate.
Nice.
All right. I was kind of consumed in trying to guess what your next venture would be, and I thought I had it, but then you said it's not MMA related. But I was thinking, wait a minute, if he managed himself, maybe he could be an MMA manager, because he's got experience as a fighter,
right?
and he's got experience negotiating.
Yeah.
But he says it's outside of MMA.
Yeah,
All right, here's another question for you. When's your camping trip start? The one that's coming up?
I don't know. Next week, not this next week, but the following week or something like that. I know we're gonna be out of town during the big fight.
Oh, because did you know what Quintet is? Quintet is a grappling tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And
I would love to do that, man.
Sakuraba is grappling Uriah Faber. It's here in town.
Yeah.
But it's the day before Conor versus Habib. But I thought I overheard you say you wouldn't be in town. I just didn't know if that meant.
I would love to do something like that. You know, that's I got quite a few very high level guys that a lot of world champions that train in the morning at my spot, and you know, I'm gonna look to a couple of them to get me in kind of some of these bigger competitions, hopefully.
And I know this sounds silly, but what about bare knuckle? A lot of people are.
That's the stupidest thing in the world. Like, one of the reasons I'm getting out is to avoid brain damage.
No, but it's less.
Yeah,
it's less. They're saying
they're gonna break your hands. I've never broken my hands in my life. At least.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. So you got some strong bones.
You know, I've punched more men in the face than anybody in lightweight in history. I still hold that record.
Do you really?
Yeah, most significant strike landed in lightweight UFC history.
Wow.
Volume striker, man. Great for judges' scorecards too.
Yeah,
Judges love that. Judges love the volume.
For sure.
Not saying that is degenerate better or anything.
What was the what was your worst injury in your career?
You know, I remember I fought Gleason and he broke my orbital and I felt my face like cave in on itself. Kind of and I remember thinking, well, if he's gonna break your face, you might as well win the fight. And so it kind of like motivated me to fight a little bit harder. And that one wasn't too bad, but I blew my nose backstage, which you're not supposed to do. But like, you're not thinking about it, right? Because you can't breathe out your nose because you're so congested, and my face blew up like a puffer fish. But that healed on its own, so it was all good.
What was your favorite fight? Win or lose?
It's probably a tie. Between the Shirk fight stands out because I remember being a kid, like watching the UFC, and I was watching a fight with Shirk, and I was like, that is the coolest thing ever, and that dude's like the baddest dude ever. So to fight him was like a huge honor to me. You know what I mean? Like, it was.
We just talked about that.
You know, it
gets bringed up a lot.
You know, and but then also the Grant fight, like TJ Grant.
Yes.
Like he split me. He reopened a really bad cut I used to have, and I couldn't. All I saw was like blood haze for like 2.5 rounds or whatever it was, and that was one of the ones that, you know, is an experience that a lot of fighters, you know, kind of seek out, you know. So it was like put it all on the line. That was a fun fight for me. So.
What was the hardest leg kick you ever got? Calf or the thigh? Where you just go,
damn,
damn, that boy can kick.
I never really got, well, probably, it wasn't a leg kick. It was when Barboza tickled my lungs with his big toe. That one kind of sucked, you know.
Tickled your lungs with your big toe?
Dude, when he kicked me, like when I fought Barboza and he caught me on the drift with, I think it was a switch kick. I swear to God, his big toe like went in under my toe, rib cage, and like tickled my lungs. It was like the worst feeling ever. Like it sucked, you know. And that was the first body shot loss that I took. You know? So
hey,
that was a bad one.
You got time for one more call?
Yeah, of course.
One slipped in.
Well, one more slipped in. Yeah. All right. Hello, caller. Who are you?
I don't know, but if we keep going like this, boy, we might be rolling in about 5.
Yeah, Bert.
We might have a dirty 30 before we roll to that hole, baby. A great 5 before we go live.
Yeah. What's up, Bert? How are you doing, man?
Oh, man, I'm trying to make it, baby. How about yourself, son?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing real good. I was just talking about you, man. We miss you.
Well, you know what? I miss you guys as well, and I just got this phone call, and I'm so glad that they called me for this occasion.
Yeah.
You know, I was actually talking about you last week, just talking about you and your dad, and I first met you guys and how your dad and I got along, and you know how it was a little special for me because very seldom you see those kind of relationships, you know, that last as long as you guys have, and to see how close you guys are, man. And it was always real special to me, baby. Always.
Thanks, Bert. Yeah, man. I was telling these guys, we got to bring you back, man. It ain't the same walking out there when somebody's telling me, oh, you got to fight in 5 minutes, and then having you holler at us. That's a totally different thing. So I know all the old school fighters love you.
Is that all they do? Just walk back there and tell you got to go walk, take that walk?
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, you got 5 minutes. All right, cool, man. All right, you're up. All right, let's do this. You know, it's
not the same, huh?
It's not passionate, you know what I mean? So and you gotta have that.
Well, it's great to know. You know, it's not good to know that you guys don't feel the same kind of energy, you know, or the same kind of connection. But it's good for me to know as a dad and as an OG and an old man to know that I had that kind of effect on you guys, and you know, I did it so naturally because you guys made it so easy, man, and it was just, you know, it became a natural part of what we did, you know, and the way things ran, man, and it was very easy to do, man, and especially when you had good people. And you know, I will say to you, there are times that I do miss that type of interaction and that type of energy that I got from you guys and interacting with you guys. And every now and then I may take a peek at television and take a peek at the fights. You know, I've never watched them, but every now and then I'll take a peek at it. And they're guys, you know, to see you guys are still kind of going through and seeing the commitment that you guys are putting in and the commitment that you put in. You know, it's a hell of a thing to see from this distance. And from this side of it now, you know, it's been a little over 3 years now, but, you know, there's not a day that goes by that it's not in my head. And I think about you guys, man, and think about the times that we spent together. And, you know, I do hear every now and then that somebody starts to try to perpetrate, you know, and to try to do the wee rolling or just trying to get you guys motivated, you know, but it's good to know that that's locked in and that's solid and that's something that you guys can remember in a positive vein, and that it meant something to you, and that it meant something to the sport, man. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, baby.
We appreciate you, Bert, man.
Evan just had his last fight this past Saturday, Bert, and so he's retired. He actually retired this past Saturday, and as we were talking, he casually brought it up. He said, I miss Bert, and Goes pointed out that obviously you're part of our intro, and Evan said that, he goes, you know, if you brought Bert back, I might do one more. He literally said that. And so it was pretty cool that Goes was able to get you on the line there.
I saw him during the intro. He was smiling, and so I was like, okay, I think he's a Bert guy.
Yeah, so there you have it, Bert. That's how much power your voice and presence had that Evan Dunham might consider one more, although it does seem like he might be down. Who knows, man?
Yeah, good. Yeah, Bert alone is responsible for quite a few real good fights, because I can guarantee you if we weren't hyped up like that, it wouldn't have been as fun, you know, as exciting. So he's a big part of it.
Well, I mean, you all, you know, you had a toughness, man, and you were kind of like a quiet assassin. You know, you just always had that big smile, that soft demeanor, you know, and your dad was the same, you know, kind of with the glasses on, and you know, just kind of low key, but you know, showing up on time and always making weight, and that to me that was a firm commitment, because I started on you guys when you got off the plane. That's the first thing I did. Was we working towards making that weight, and I could see the commitment, you know, and I knew the guys that I was going to have a tough time with, that we're going to have a tough time with making weight. But you and your dad and your camp, you guys always had a system in place that You know, you made it look easy. It didn't seem like it was tough, you know, and you made it easy for me to keep those things in place because it was like you guys were you know, it became a part of the process. And it, like, you know, it gave you guys a comfort level, man. And I found it real easy fight night, man, coming in that dressing room and kind of jumping in your face and kind of getting you guys ready to go because it also motivated me to be able to do that all night long. But I truly appreciate you, man, and whatever you're going to be doing from here on, you know, I wish you nothing but the best, you know, and I mean that from my heart. And I'll tell you something, baby. If you ever need that again, you just holler at me, and I'll get it one way or another.
Cool. Thank you, Bert. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you, Bert, for calling in.
I appreciate you guys, and anytime you need me, man. And you know what? I'm going to give it to you one more time. Just one more time before you roll in that hole, baby. We roll it! Yeah! Nice.
Yeah, Bert.
Thanks, Bert. That's awesome, man. Thanks for calling in.
Good luck to you, son.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Peace.
All right, see you, Bert. Very cool. Very cool moment there. All right. Well, I think that's the cherry on the sundae right there, Evan.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Listen.
Isn't that way better than, okay, Evan?
Yeah, I'll take that all day long. I'm happy to walk out on that anytime.
I know that you might still grapple, but regardless of where life takes you, check in over here. You know, this has been our home for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
So we're pretty consistent. If you're ever driving by and you just want to dip in, you know, we start at 10, we end at 12. Come by, say hello, stay in touch. Let us know if your gym changes location or if you add another one or whatever else you got going on. We're always there to support you.
Your new vending machine business. Anything you can help out.
I'm not doing no vending machine.
Whatever you got going on, you let us know, right, brother?
Yeah, I will. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for all your hard work, your contributions to mixed martial arts, the memories you gave us.
I appreciate it, man. I thank you guys for giving me a platform to reach out to the fans and stuff like that. You know, MMA is full of a lot of good fans and a lot of bad fans, but I've never experienced a single bad one, you know, through this show. So I know when I come on the show, I'm speaking to the genuine, real fans. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Evan's a mensch outside of the cage too. So thank you for the jiu-jitsu lessons. Which, if you guys want to curious about that, he still has that business. That business he is open about. So go check him out.
We'll get after it.
Dunham Jiu-Jitsu out in Henderson.
Yep.
You're technically Henderson, right? What's that, Maryland, and what's the other street?
I'm actually in Vegas, to tell you the truth.
Oh, that's still Vegas.
Yeah, I'm like a block away from Henderson.
What is it, Maryland and what?
Maryland and Pebble.
Pebble.
Yeah, right by the
Kids, conditioning, what are the classes that you offer?
So we're just straight jiu-jitsu now.
Straight jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I had a little bit of stand-up class, and we had a little conditioning class, but I only focus on what my heart's in, you know, and we're going to be the best damn grappling school here in Vegas, you know, and that's our goal, and that's what we're going to do. So the best way to do that is focus on grappling.
You have any stories of kids that were getting bullied and now they're got some confidence and now they know how to defend themselves and everything?
Yeah, you know, we're very lucky. We have a very big kids team. We have some really good kids, committed kids, but you know, I pride myself on the men, you know, that come in there that are, you know, in a rough time in their life, you know, maybe they're not too happy with their job. I try to refer to the gym as a healthy version of of Cheers. Remember the Cheers?
You're Sam Malone. You're the bartender.
Everybody, you know, and when you came, everybody's glad you came because everybody knows your name, whatever it is. But that's kind of how I relate to it. It's a healthy outlet for guys and women to come in and, you know, get the energy out, you know, without having to go to the local bar, you know. So we really pride ourselves on just our atmosphere in there. You know, everybody has a good time. That's our focus, you know. So
is he more Norm or more Frazier?
I think more Norm.
Yeah, I think you're more Norm.
Yeah, I think so.
Why is that, Evan? Is it my vocabulary? Like a vocabulary, or is it this big belly that I got?
No, I think it's more because you're lackadaisical, you know, and just kind of cool vibe.
I'll give him that. He could have laid me out pretty good and said, "It's your fucking belly. That's why you're
country music."
All right, my man. All right, thanks for stopping by.
Yes, of course.
All right,
guys,
folks, we're going to take a break. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation 93. Stay close. We'll be back.
Wouldn't you like to get
USADA. Start. You told me that code would get rid of them. Yeah, well, they're still here. Okay, but now they know I tried to kill them. Hold on, Mom. Here are George and Goes.
Get the channel, the radio channel numbers, and a link to listen to your favorite NFL, college football, or Major League Baseball team sent right to your smart device. Just go to SiriusXM.com/sports today and click Add to My Calendar. All right, guys, we got a couple minutes here before we get to the main event. Or the main event, the next guest. Right now it's time to do
the main event, right? If you're going last.
A little bit, yeah. It's now time to do our daily debate. Here's the question for today. Who will win Saturday's Bellator 206 main event? It's a middleweight title fight between 185-pound champ Gegard Mousasi and the 170-pound champ Rory McDonald. I just need an answer, guys. Mousasi or McDonald. But get this. The votes that came in, it's got McDonald on it, 57%. Mousasi at 43% with 670 votes. Dan, Tom, are these people tripping?
Wow, that's opposite of the odds. You know, if you look at the odds,
the odds and our consensus as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the odds are depending on what house you're looking at. I mean, you're getting Mousasi anywhere as a 2-to-1 favorite. So I was maybe expecting somewhat of that to reflect on the poll. I mean, generally that's how it works. It's not usually not too crazy, but somewhat the opposite way here. That does kind of surprise me. Maybe they're not sold on the size difference, which, you know, can be overinflated depending how you look at it. I'm guessing that's what that means. Maybe they're not sold on the size here, guys.
All I can think of is maybe popularity. Gegard was in the UFC for a while. It's not like he only popped in for 4 fights and bounced.
Right.
He had some big fights, but, you know, a lot of them were overseas. And I guess Rory just being featured a lot in North America, maybe that's it. What do you think goes of these results?
Well, there's definitely ways Rory McDonald can win this fight. We don't want to make it sound like people were crazy.
That's true.
Right.
Just based on the odds, I think we all made some pretty good points the other day. I just feel like Gegard Mousasi is the one that's going to take this. And if anything, I thought that poll would be a little tighter, but it's pretty significant that they're going that way. I don't know. I
think it's that champ fever, guys.
You think so?
Maybe.
You know, Daniel Cormier setting a trend. People are getting excited. Maybe they're thinking about the possibilities that could happen. I'm not sure what's driving that. But
we could show up on Monday and I'll be wrong. But,
that's right.
But honestly, this catches me by surprise.
We all felt like it was an even fight. But give me your best case why Rory can win, Goes.
Just power, catching him coming in. Maybe. Yeah, but even then, just catching him really.
How about you?
You know, again, we're not trying to make it sound crazy that he can't. It should be a close fight. I believe it's going to be a competitive fight, and I may be picking Mousasi, but don't get me wrong. I could easily see Rory McDonald outworking Mousasi in the clinch, frustrating him, stifling him, and kind of taking the jab and the other equations that Mousasi also likes to use kind of out of the equation. I could see Rory fighting a real smart fight, taking a decision here.
Yeah, I'm thinking if Rory's going to get it done, he's pretty tough on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when he took down Damian Maia. You know, I think the fight was actually here at Mandalay Bay a few years ago. And we all thought, wow, that's just somewhere you don't want to be, you know. But granted, he got taken down by Maia, but in no way did he fear the ground game either, because his ground game also complements his stand-up. He's just overall, fundamentally, a solid fighter. Yes. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll see. Junkie Nation, you guys went totally against us. Wait till you see our main event breakdown. You'll see that us three went the other way. But, again, 57% think Rory McDonald takes it, 43% for Mousasi. There's your daily debate. Brought to you by the MMA Junkie Radio team. All right, we got one more guest to go. His name is Beneil Dariush, also from the OC. And how are we looking, Danny? We ready to go?
He keeps it down when we're
there
not
and
there.
ready to go.
All right, cool.
Right?
All right, so Beneil Dariush is going to be fighting on November 10th in Denver, Colorado. This is as close as you get to the 25-year anniversary of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. That fight card has a headliner of Frankie Edgar versus Chan Sung Jung. Now, Beneil's going to be facing Chris Grutzemacher on the prelims, and Beneil joins us now on the hotline. What's up, Benny? How you doing, my man?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Great. Thanks for joining us here again on the MMA Junkie Radio Show. You're on with George, Goes, and Dan. All right, my man. We now, at first it was kind of a novelty. Hey, who's this guy from the OC? And we've been talking to you for a few years now, but now you're a grizzled vet. You've been doing this for a long time. Do you still have the hunger that you did when you first started out in this game?
I think that's the question every fighter should ask himself. And to be honest, I feel like I have it more. I want to learn to be a better fighter. I want to learn to train better. I want to learn to train more. I want to be able to just fight better in general. You guys I overheard you guys speak about the Rory McDonald fight and Gegard Mousasi. I'm one of the few people who wants the fight to go 5 rounds because both guys are so technical. I want to learn some stuff. Every time I watch Rory McDonald fight, I feel like he tries to add new things to his game, and Gegard is so calm. What happens is he adapts to his opponent, and he starts to overcome them. So I think it's such a cool matchup.
Who you like in that fight?
I would say Rory on a regular basis, just because I feel like he's fought smarter fights. But to be honest, he has a lot of damage too. He's taking a lot of tough fights. He's been in some of the most grueling fights, including his last fight. So I'm gonna have to go with Gegard as far as who's the favorite.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you kind of answered my first question when I was asking you about the passion. Sometimes I feel like fighters, once they get past, 10 fights in whatever promotion they're in, like, you're in the UFC, around that 10-fight mark, give or take a fight, it becomes them punching a clock and just realizing this is my career, I belong, and, and this is just what and this is just what I plan on doing, But then there are others that obsess over it, Benny. They obsess over the matchup. They can't wait, for their fight, and they don't even worry about the money. Like, the money's just like a little nice complimentary thing that comes along with the competition.
I mean, money's nice. It's good, but I could do something else to make money. Money isn't the motivation, man. I really want to be a champion. I really just want to fight the best guys, and I want to be healthy and get out there and just go to battle. That's really what I want. And this is an opportunity. I got a good guy in front of me. He's pretty durable, and I'm looking to go out there and just put on a show.
Goes, what do you have for Benny Dariush?
I'm going to come clean, Benny. This is exactly what just happened while George asked you that question. The senior vice president of Mandalay Bay walked by. George waved at him, and George has a giant white beard right now, and he just went, "Hey, Santa." And I don't know how George held it together and still asked you that question because I started dying laughing. So they had to turn my mic down. So sorry for giggling there. But I wanted to point to...
Do I look like Santa, Benny, to you?
Can I just say no comment?
No comment? Where's the backup, man? How about just a firm no? Hell no.
It's been a bad day for you because you were Norm from Cheers.
Say Santa or Norm from
Cheers. Can you say you're handsome, I guess?
Benny, when I saw you at King's MMA in Huntington Beach, or when I've seen you here in Vegas, did you actually go, hang on a second, is that George or Santa? Did you really think that?
I never thought you were Santa. But, maybe it grew more. It's been a while. I haven't seen you in a couple of months, so maybe you got a bigger beard and you look more grizzly. Is that the right word I'm looking for?
You had a chance to back me up and go, no, man, you're a super hunk. There's no way you look like Santa. That senior VP's got it all wrong. And instead, you kind of co-signed with him.
Yeah, totally. That's what I was thinking. I just didn't want to say it.
All right. Go ahead. What you got?
Benny, can you point to a specific Beneil Dariush specific fight where you felt like that's the best Beneil Dariush, and if he shows up every night, he's going to handle his business?
Shoot, that's tricky. To be honest, the James Vick fight was good. The fight with Rashid actually was really good too. He was really tough. I think that Rashid obviously was a decision. It wasn't a finish, but just the caliber of an opponent and how good he is and how I was able to push myself, especially fighting in elevation in Mexico City where it's like 7,500. I think that was one of the best versions of myself I've been. And hopefully I'm going to be better soon. This next one I'll be even better.
I know when fighters find out they're fighting you, they're usually not too happy about it because you're a very tough out. That being said, these adjustments that you're making in your game, trying to learn as much as you can, have you gotten to the point where it's just kind of like a little bit of fine-tuning here and there, or are you trying to kind of reinvent yourself?
That's a good question. To say reinvent yourself, it's weird because that means change your foundation. I don't really know if I'm completely changing my foundation, but I can change up a few things and my style will look completely different, if that makes sense. You know, changing the forward pressure to kind of moving backwards and then forward and then changing direction side to side. If you do just little things like that, you'll look like a completely different fighter, but in reality, your foundation is the same. So I am always trying to make adjustments. And one of the things I'm trying to learn to do now is more focus on my opponent, engage them, and kind of work from that. Whether my opponent's taller, whether my opponent's shorter, what's their specialty, and whether they do. Before I used to just be like, it's me. I'm just going to do everything I do just better, and then the fight will be fine. But now I'm trying to kind of flip that and just kind of pick apart my opponents, especially since I enjoy watching film and I enjoy taking apart just the details of the game. So why not? Why shouldn't I be doing that?
Beneil Dariush is our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio. He'll be fighting at UFC Fight Night 139, Edgar versus Korean Zombie, also known as UFC Denver. The fights take place on November 10th, and his opponent that night will be Chris Grutzemacher. All right, Dan Tom, our fight analyst, he's got something for you. Dan, what do you have for Beneil Dariush?
Hey, Beneil, you're a super smart guy, so it doesn't surprise me that you're taking a liking for that part of the game. But, you know, touching on something you said earlier, you know, as far as wanting to improve and that passion, I think everybody, you know, believes you and doesn't doubt that for a second. Your work speaks for itself. But has that always been something about you as far as having a fast learning curve? Because for people that don't know, you're not just a good grappler. You ascended the ranks in competition pretty fast, all things considered. Has that always been kind of a theme, like going back, you know, when you were a child and so forth?
No, man, I was terrible at sports. Martial arts is like the first thing that just made sense. I didn't really play sports until I was like 14, 15. I tried soccer because I grew up in a village in Iran. I came to America when I was 9. I did like one year of like JUSA or whatever it's called, soccer, and then I went into high school soccer and I was just terrible. I pretty much I was the best player on the bench because everybody else was just better. I was. You know, I was always the guy that's going to go just in case if somebody gets hurt, but I was never good enough to actually play. When I started martial arts, I don't know what it was, but, like, things just clicked. The idea of, like, hey, you know, if you touch this and then they're going to react this way just made sense to me. And if you play this game, they're going to play that game. If you do this, they're going to do that. And the more I did it, the more I just kind of enjoyed figuring out how the body works, and with that came more confidence to compete. I remember doing my first tournament and not knowing much and just going out there and just trying as hard as I could, and then just somebody videotaped it, and I watched my matches, and I saw 1,000 things. If I watched my soccer matches, I wouldn't be able to tell you anything. But martial arts was just, I think maybe it's because it's not a team sport. It's an individual sport. Maybe that's why. But just being able to watch footage helps me a lot.
Yeah, again, that's great to hear, and you know, it's good to hear somebody, you know, especially an intelligent fighter, kind of embracing that aspect. But you know, selfishly, I enjoy hearing you break things down, Beneil. So let me ask you. You know, there's other southpaw pressure fighters who are also really good grapplers who happen to be facing each other by the names of Nate Diaz and Dustin Poirier coming up at UFC 230. Can you give us a breakdown of that matchup? Maybe even a prediction if you're feeling so bold.
I think it's really actually easy, that one. It should be Poirier if Nate Diaz doesn't get in his head. Because think about it like this. Poirier currently is just on fire. He's going through guys. He's had like 10 rounds back to back his last couple of fights. He's fought like 10, maybe even more than that, 10 to 15 rounds. So he's he's really sharp right now. You can see it in his fights. But the thing with Nate Diaz is it takes him a round to kind of get comfortable, and in that round, he gets in your head. In a round where he lost, he's able to get in your head. So Nate and Conor are very similar in that they fight mental warfare. And if Dustin can avoid that, I think he's going to go right through Nate Diaz. I don't think it's going to be a tough fight for him at all. But if Nate gets in his head, it's going to be a long night. Nate's going to play. He's going to throw his straight punches, and just kind of wear out Dustin Poirier. He's going to look to throw a lot of jabs, and from those jabs, he's going to throw a sneaky cross. And if it goes to the ground, again, Dustin Poirier just needs to watch out for that triangle. It's those things, but I personally have the diamond on that one.
Beneil, we'll leave you with this. The other day I was at King's MMA, but you weren't there that day. It was a Friday. And, of course, we all know that on Fridays, King's goes hard. You know what I mean? You guys have the sparring, right? So we get there, and everybody's taping up, everybody's warming up, and then Coach Cordero starts doing the countdown, letting everybody know 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 90 seconds, all that. And it was real cool. I got to enjoy it. And so at the very end, everybody's hugging it out. A little bit of blood spilled here and sweat, and it was really, really cool. It really lived up. But a couple of the fighters said, damn, I wish Benny would have been here. That motherfucker's, intense. And, you lift the temperature of the room, the intensity of the room. So it's kind of cool to hear that, you know what I mean? That these were your teammates saying something nice about you. You weren't there, but it was really cool to hear because I'm a fan of yours, and I just wanted to pass that along to you, man. There's a lot of people that respect you there, and they really enjoy you as a teammate. But more than anything, your ability to lift everyone's performance on that, that important day of the week, which is Friday at King's MMA.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man, because my teammates get me where I am, and I want to be the same for them. So hearing that is huge for me. I always come into Fridays. Honestly, the drive is worse than the actual sparring. I'm so nervous because I know everybody I go with, they know how nervous I get and how crazy I go, so they're going to get nervous and go crazy as well. So that's why it raises the level, because they know I'm terrified, and when I'm terrified, I come in kind of crazy. So it's good to hear, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you, brother.
No problem. You want to hear which one said, it's too bad he wasn't here, I was going to fuck him up? No, I'm just kidding. None of them said that. None of them said that. No, none of them said that. They all spoke so highly of you.
Hey, how scared would you have been if he lost connection and you didn't get to tell him that
I didn't tell him I was kidding. Yeah. Next thing you know, he's going to the gym. Who the fuck's talking shit? No, yeah. I was obviously joking on that part. All right, so listen, bud, you got about 6 weeks of training camp. I hope it's a safe training camp for you. And maybe on Fight Week we'll connect. You can tell us how camp was, and we'll see what your state of mind is for Chris Grutzemacher at UFC Fight Night 139 on November 10th.
Sounds good. Guys, I have a question. You guys might know this. You guys know what the elevation is over there? Is it 5,000 or is it 7? I'm hearing different.
No, it's the Mile High City, so it's 5,280.
Oh, cool. Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I could also tell you the elevation of the North Pole if you'd like to know. Me being Santa and all. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
When he asked that question, in my head I was thinking there is zero chance any of us are going to have this answer.
The Mile High City.
And then you came. Yeah, but you didn't have to do the 820 or whatever.
Oh, because I know exactly that a mile is 5,280 feet.
Oh, okay.
So,
it's private school.
But 7,000 is Mexico. Mexico, I think, is like. What's that?
If I had to guess, I would say you probably lost your virginity in Denver, and you also claimed to be part of the Mile High Club, so that way, 2 birds with 1 stone, but I could be wrong.
All right, my man. Good talking to you, Benny. Take care, brother.
Take care.
All right, we'll see you later. I like that guy.
Yeah, he's nice.
Cool. Yeah, he's really, really cool.
How do you keep it together?
Well, I heard it, and it was just kind of like...
But he had a funny look on his face, and he even, pointed. Whenever you insult someone, if you point with it, it's just so much funnier.
I actually saw Rick right above, that little middle window, and he started waving then, but see, because of that column, I think by the time I went like that, he was going by the calm. Then I think he saw me put my hand down. Then he waved again, and then we never really gave each other the actual wave until he got here. And then I guess he figured. But you know what? That's actually a good thing. If he's so confident, if he so feels like that he can call me, bust my balls like that he can call me that must mean we're his guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was, I'll take that one just to know. All right, cool. I mean,
it looked like a scene out of the movie Clerks or something. Just like it's just a really just random walk by perfectly placed like with a point gesture
because other people around they probably hear it and go, what?
You're not allowed to right here anymore. Yeah.
There's so much to that insult. I don't know how you kept it together.
All right, one more break, right, Danny?
That's right.
All right, let's do that. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM's Fight Nation, Channel 93. Stay close. We'll be right back.
During the commercial break, they were all tested for performance-enhancing drugs. George and Goes came back clean, but Dad tested positive for Viagra. Like a lot of it. Here are the boys.
Football season is here, and Barstool Radio is bringing a tailgate atmosphere to you every day with their unique and outlandish takes on the sports and pop culture stories that are trending this week. Enjoy refreshing content that is by the common man for the common man on Barstool Radio on Power 85 and streaming on your phone or at home on SiriusXM connected devices and speakers. All right. Well, those were our two guests for the day, guys. So shout out to Goes for lining those up. Evan Dunham, who recently retired after the fight this past Saturday at UFC Fight Night 137 versus Francisco Trinaldo. He came up short. He got stopped via a knee to the liver. But still, quite a career. 20 fights, and he definitely had some good runs, some win streaks, some wins over some respected fighters. But it seems like he really wants to maybe just peel away from the sport, right? He doesn't want to be too involved. I mean, he is going to grapple, but
he's been pretty good with his stances. But I remember when we first started interviewing him, he said for sure he's not staying in Vegas. He's going back to Oregon.
And
that changed. So never say never. But if you did this to me, I'd say come back for one more.
One more fight?
One more fight.
What makes you think that?
Just his personality. I just don't think he can be without fighting for too long.
Mark Godbeer also renounced his retirement. He's a veteran of 4 UFC fights, and I guess it's a wrap for him. Talis Latis, joining Talis Latis and Evan Dunham this week.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. The Quintet 3, which is the grappling tournament here in Las Vegas, a few weeks ago, we had some of their fighters, including the founder, Kazushi Sakuraba, the heavyweight on his team, Josh Barnett, and the captain of the opposing team, Team Alpha Male, Uriah Faber. They were all here in studio promoting Quintet 3 at the Orleans on October 5th. We will be there as part of the Junkie Gathering. We're all just going to go together and watch some submission grappling, so get on down there. The announced team has been set for Quintet 3. It'll be Sean Wheelock, formerly of Bellator. He will be announcing with Misha Tate. So they got the commentary duties for Quintet 3.
Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Man U play that week? Sean's a big Man U fan.
I can check.
Why don't we all get together with Sean and watch that game? He never misses a game, no matter what.
Let's see here. Let's see what the United schedule is for October 5th.
Buy some time?
Yeah.
All right. While you do that, I'm
they
going to
do.
tell you guys.
They play on the 6th. Saturday the 6th. Which might be better because then Quintet's over by then.
Yeah.
So
But he may
day.
be leaving the next day.
Oh.
So we need to tell him.
I'll be sleeping and recovering while you guys are watching that game.
Are you going to Quintet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am going. I owe someone some money for that ticket, actually, now that you remind me.
Okay.
I have it written down. Man, I just saw an email notification. I missed a proper 12 delivery. It came to the house, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I guess I'll have to try again. Try again to.
How much is it per bottle, Dan?
Not too much. I think it was like $24.99 or something pretty reasonable. My mom will be at my house, dog sitting my dog who's in surgery right now, so she'll be home to pick it up tomorrow. So.
Oh yeah, how's that go?
I was hoping to have it for someone's
the dog
for someone's birthday this. I don't know. We'll see. They're moving 7. Only 2 of them are semi-serious. The rest are just minor. But 7 little tumor thingies.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them like those old man spots, those old dog spots. But then there's some embedded in the skin that we just want to make sure to get taken care of. So that whole deal.
Yeah, our dog's slowing down a lot too. His hearing on the walks, he just kind of looks at me at some point as if to say, "Let's turn back."
Wow.
Whereas before, he could just go and go, and every once in a while, he still pulls off a solid walk. But I just know I can't take him on some of the longer ones. Now that said, it has been over 100
I was gonna say,
for
the
3 straight months.
Deal with here, yeah.
We've been brushing up on 100 lately. It finally cooled down to the high 90s. And it could be it's just that. I mean, we wake up to like 77, 81. So by the time we get out, it's already 80-something. And me as a human, I'd rather walk in 59, 63, that weather, versus 85 or whatever.
But you're used to that North Pole weather.
That's true. Actually, it's minus 59 then.
But
how about this? Francisco Trinaldo, did you hear about that? He had so bad a tooth pain, he wanted to pull out.
I saw the headline on Junkie, yeah.
That stuff can affect you really bad. Cub Swanson, he had to pull out of a fight because of the wisdom teeth.
Yeah.
So what happens is that those pains, they can cause infections, and infections start to drain you. The way you fight the infection is with the antibiotics, but you can't do that because it's going to mess up your endurance. So it's a painful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we almost didn't have that fight.
That's crazy. Yeah. Thiago Santos, I believe, was fighting some things. I believe he had a leg injury of some sort or something that he was fighting to get into. I mean, it's tough. It's not just the UFC having to hold the schedule, but for these fighters too, they can't miss the boat on these paychecks, right? So I mean, you can only sit out for so long.
Plus, in Brazil, people paid to go, and a lot of fighters feel that pressure. All right, let's end with one more thing because we got to bounce here in about 1 minute. Michael Chandler tells Patricky Frady to, quote, go ahead and take the Brett Primus title fight. Why would Chandler say that?
No idea.
I think he pretty much despises Primus, doesn't respect him. Why not fight him and take your belt back? Chandler loves being a world champion, so I don't understand why he's giving someone else the pass. Now, I know he's talked about super fights and other things in the past, but McDonald's got his hands full with Mousasi, and when he comes back, he's got to defend. Because even if he loses, he's losing at a middleweight. But as a welterweight, he still has cards to play. Like he's part of a Grand Prix. He's going to be inserted in the Grand Prix at some point. I just don't understand who else Chandler would want to fight, and I don't understand why he said that.
It's got to be some sort of negotiation back end type.
Maybe, unless he knows maybe Alvarez might be coming back. I don't know. He's a free agent.
Championship.
That's what I heard too. So who knows? I think it's time we get Michael Chandler back on the show to see what's what. We got to get out of here. All right, shout out to Joey from Vegas. And for Danny and Danny Goes, I'm George. Have a nice day. Go out there and be a champion.